who was a broken being. From within and without, noticing the result of these things that surround, she subjected to be the subject of sin. She was but a child then, not now. Plain was the path Papa persistently prayed to protect her from being prey to the hounds at bay. Still learning her ABCs just as a child is trying to see, but see, she's not a child now. She was but a child then. Equations became an attraction like Pythagoras patterns and pictures painted by problems, places, people provoked by pieces. Her poetry became reality. She became the actor in the stories she described yet despised. Her actions became part of the equation with X and Y. This would add to the product extracted by these multiple reasons. Her thoughts captured in division. The mind of this being became like a casket of dead man's bones. Brokenness was simply an excuse. The only description that seemed sensible to use. She became not what she claimed. Some call it hypocrisy, and yes, quite bluntly, plain as you're looking at me, she practiced hypocrisy. Part of this practice was obviously the payment. Provided she played well, positivity was an inevitable compliment they'd comment, and in time communicate their need for this, whatever it is she seemed to claim. How could this be? Her need for speed became like a corrosive disease, creating corruption in mind and heart. She became a harlot, not physically, but spiritually, emotionally. She entertained these thoughts that embraced her in the night, whispers and words tangled in texts and phones like yours, the things it contains. You hide and seek for no one to see and speak. You're sick but complacent in your bubble, cause you think finding help will brew trouble. So you act like you're fine, clearly reasoning it out in your mind with pride. Like a foolish child, you think you know better than the one who created thee. So, like you have become a hypocrite. To condemnation, a puppet, an example of what not to be. Even to yourself you tell it, but pardon my intrusion. It is with reason, so I say it as I stated. She, being within the walls of a church but not within its life, became the reason of unfulfilled lives. Unedified individuals who had once embraced the truth from lips, now broken and fallen from grace. They could no longer trace the words and truth that once brought them to this place. I tell you not of her to bring the story to a happy ending, but to have you give your full attention to what is pending. For I've seen with these eyes of mine a path of pain from an illicit practice, so I wrote this. For I learned to reach hearts, then speak truth. To be shunned is inevitable, but still speak truth. I speak the truth. Never so look up to one that you forget to see the Son of God. He is the only being we should focus on being like. He who never fell but reaches to the fallen. For he experienced it all and was broken for the broken, to break every chain that binds us. So he went up on the cross to pay the price for sinners just like me. She is a product of confusion, perversion, and delusion. She prays to find the path once paved before she became a slave. She walks to find grace at God's feet. Just like we seek his face daily, because truly we are unworthy, unforgivable, ungrateful, and unrighteous people. We need to place our knees at the altar to be altered, lest we be ousted on the day of judgment. Judge yourself and be honest, for your heart tells you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. Accept it. There is a voice that daily speaks to you. Let it speak. We cannot deny it the right, for we are programmed to know wrong from right. Now let your heart heed to the light, in spite of how you perceive or simply how you think you'll be deemed. There's an invitation to be redeemed, to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So please mind the gap between you and Christ, your soul. Please do not sacrifice. I speak to the believer and the ones making a decision. Christianity is not just a religion, it is a life worth living and leaving the world for. God's hand is extended to all. Like the story I told, her life still unfolds, just like yours, just like me. She's listening and she hears beyond the ears and the tears. Hear the heartbeat of the broken. Here it is. Listen. While you hear, make a decision.